go through and do the review on your own. We've been doing for every past 2 weeks, really. And on the back, you'll see it's a little bit new, and the directions are very explicit here. So it says multiply both equations. So that's the only thing different here is that if you multiply, let's say, something by 4, you're not going to be able to get 5, or vice versa. So you're going to have to think ahead of time and say, well, 5 and 4 go into 20 each, right? So we need to have a 20x and a negative 20x. And you have to multiply both equations. So always start by, well, what are you trying to accomplish? And then think, well, what do I need to multiply by if I have negative 4 in order to get negative 20? Right? And you'll come up with 5. That'll give you the negative 20, and then you can do it for the others as well. So you get negative 25y, and you get, I think that's 90. Right? And then do the same thing on top. We need a positive 20x. Right now I have negative 5. What do I need to multiply negative 5 by to get positive 20? Right? So you get the negative 4. Right? That'll give you positive 20. That'll give you positive 16. And then equals 0. So the only thing different here is that we had to multiply both the top and bottom equation by something so that we get an elimination right here. So it's all about planning everything ahead of time and working backwards. Okay. And just like yesterday, go ahead and do this first. Get the first variable, so y equals negative 10, and stop there and move on to the next. Because I really want you guys to make sure you practice the new part. Your quiz tomorrow will be very much like your quiz last Friday. Just 2 problems. One of them where you had to multiply one equation, and one that's going to be like this where you have to multiply both. Okay. So let me look at one more with you. Look at number 8 and ask yourself, well, what can we multiply by so that both these come out to be the same number? And you want to go with as small number as possible. So you could say like 7 and 6 both go into 42, but then you have to multiply by 6 and 7. Those are going to be some big numbers. If you look at the y's, though, 6 and 9 both go into 18. That's a pretty small number, relatively speaking. So I want to get a negative 18y, and I want to get a positive 18y. I already have to know that 6 and 9 go into 18 even to do this. And then work backwards and say, what do I need to do to get from negative 6y to negative 18y? You can multiply by 3. So that'll give you 21x. There's the negative 18y, and then don't forget the other side, equals negative 36. And same thing here. We need to get a positive 18y. So what do I need to multiply 9y by to get positive 18? So you do 2. So you get 12x, 18y, and then equals 36. And you can solve. So we get elimination. The right-hand side equals 0. And the left-hand side is 33. And of course, 33 times y equals 0. And you get 0. So I know my answer is 0 comma something. Right? And you can find the y, the second variable, after you've gone through and done the first variable for each one. So very similar. It just takes a little planning to figure out ahead of time. If you see 6 and 9, knowing they both go into 18, that's the one new skill you need to have, which is similar to a common denominator if you think about it. It's the same step you do if you're trying to find a common denominator and add 2 fractions. You have to first find what number do they both go into. Now, we could have canceled out x's. I could have multiplied the top by 6 and the bottom by negative 7 and got 42x and negative 42x. And I'd still get the right answer, but the numbers would be a lot bigger. So you might find yourself deciding, let's say like on number 9 here, which one would be a better variable to cancel out? So what's the smallest number that both 9 and 10 go into? And that would be like 90. So that's a big number. But what's the smallest number that 7 and 2 go into? That's 14. So between 90 and 14, I probably want to work with the x's and get those to be 14x and negative 14x rather than making this 90 and negative 90. So work backwards. What I need to multiply by to get positive 14x? The negative 2, that give me positive 14. And on the bottom, I just need a positive 7 to give me negative 14. And then just finish it up by multiplying the rest out. So very similar. Everything else that you've been doing, keep doing, and you'll probably be fine. And if there's a mistake, don't erase everything and start over. Try to find the one little error that's probably there right in front of you, like forgetting a negative, and just recalculate it. 99% of the time, it's just some small detail you need to fix. Don't need to start all over, okay? So this is going to be due at the end of class tomorrow. I'd say 10 minutes before the end of class tomorrow, because you'll have your quiz the last 10 minutes of class, okay? And it'll just be like one of these problems like we're doing right now, and then like something like number 6 where you have to multiply only one time. Okay, so just 2 problems, and you have to do them all the way through and not stop like we are right now. Okay? All right. Stay busy. If you don't waste time, you'll have plenty of time to finish everything. Okay? So keep working until you're done.